Hey guys, my name is Modi and you are welcome back to Modi Speaks. Today we're going to be talking about another uncomfortable scenario, something that frankly too many people are very afraid to address head on. I came across a video on social media with a title that perfectly summed up the homeowner's likely despair. It says, imagine renting a house on Airbnb to relax, and when you arrive, you find this hell. The video, which many of you may have probably seen, shows an Airbnb property with a pool absolutely swamped with people. Dozens of people, perhaps as many as 150 people, splashing water everywhere, yelling, playing loud, obnoxious music, and generally creating a chaotic, destructive environment. They were not just enjoying the pool, they were making a deliberate mess, drenching the entire compound and showing a complete disregard for the property. And yes, for full context, the individuals in the video were exclusively young black people. Now, before anybody starts screaming racism, I want to remind you that I am African. I share the same skin color as those guys, okay? So I cannot be racist to my fellow black people. And again, calling out the bad behaviors of people who share my skin color is not racism. It is called holding people accountable. And also, you can call it criticizing evil. And also, this isn't really about race. It is more about behavior. This is about a specific subculture of degeneracy that, when it manifests, disproportionately impacts certain segments of the black community and by extension creates unnecessary burdens and reinforces negative stereotypes that hardworking, law-abiding black Americans have to contend with. We need to dissect this, not to condemn an entire race, but to shine a light on problematic behaviors that hold back progress and fuel division. But before we get into the video, guys, please do well to subscribe to the channel if you've not already. Like and share this video to keep people informed, and consider joining my membership or buying me a coffee if you like, as a way of supporting the channel, because of course most of my videos are heavily demonetized. All right.
Excuse me, what you got going? Show him how it's done. Yo, show him how it's done. Baby. Hey. One more time, turn me out. They just broke the fucking diving board.
Is it them again, Yogi? It is always them, boo-boo. These folks keep proving the stereotypes right every single day. So it looks like they were having some kind of party, but the event wasn't a small gathering. It was a mob. They were not quietly swimming. This was a raucous, property-damaging spectacle, okay? The sheer number of the people, far exceeding any reasonable occupancy limit for a rental property, is the first red flag. We are looking at an event that was either poorly planned or intentionally exploited. The splashing of water all over the place was not accidental. It was intentional because these guys are adults. It is indicating a complete indifference to the homeowner's property. Water everywhere beyond the pool area suggests a lack of respect for the structure, the landscaping, and potentially the interior, because yes, some of the water could have flown into the house. The loud, obnoxious music and incessant yelling are hallmarks of inconsiderate behavior, especially in a residential neighborhood. The scenario you just witnessed isn't just annoying. It is a quality of life issue for anyone nearby and a clear violation of typical rental agreements. Now, imagine the homeowner, okay? A person who relies on this property for income or who simply wishes to share their space. They rent it out, trusting that their guests will treat it with respect as if it were their own. Instead, they come back to a completely messed up home. What are they supposed to feel? Frustration, betrayal, anger? Absolutely. And what kind of reputation does this foster for future guests who look like these guests? I see videos where black people are complaining that an Airbnb refused to offer them services. They complain that this is racism, and then they demand that this particular Airbnb be doxed. But they never ever say a word when they come across fellow black people damaging people's property and making a mess in people's properties just because they rented it for the moment. Sure, this homeowner was stupid enough to rent out his property to such degenerate people. But the question is he going to be stupid again in future? No. Is he going to be doing that again in future? I doubt that very much. There is every chance that the individual who owns this property will refuse service to the next group of black people that comes to their establishment, even though the next group of black people might be wonderful, responsible black people. But the fact that the previous group of black people who rented their property caused them nothing but pain, then believe me, they wouldn't be in favor of having black folks renting their property. It is as simple as that. Also, when people complain about black fatigue, incidents like this are precisely what they are talking about. Of course, this doesn't refer to all black people, okay? It doesn't. But it is about a visible, undeniable problem with certain segments of the black community, a culture of degeneracy, a lack of personal responsibility, and a disregard for civic norms and the property of others. This behavior, unfortunately, feeds directly into negative stereotypes. When a group of black individuals behave like this, it casts a shadow over all black people. Yes, the vast majority of responsible, respectful black Americans who would never ever dream of treating people's property like this are unfairly tarred with the same brush. This is why we, especially fellow black people, must address this nonsense. We cannot ignore destructive behaviors simply because of the racial identity of the perpetrators. To do that is to abandon the truth and to allow damaging patterns to fester. In a healthy society, we all have a responsibility to respect shared spaces, private property, and the peace of our neighbors. The mentality displayed in that video is one of entitlement and self-gratification at the expense of others, a corrosive force in any community. Maybe this isn't unique to any race, but when it becomes prevalent within a particular race, it becomes a distinct and damaging cultural issue. Now, fellow degenerate blacks and crazy white liberals plagued with white guilt would rush to defend such behavior by blaming systemic racism or systemic oppression. But they never ever mention the absence of personal responsibility. They never discuss the fact that there is no accountability for people who chose to act in such a disrespectful, destructive manner. When people plagued with white guilt constantly deflect blame for these degenerate individuals, they infantilize these individuals and deny these degenerates the agency to make better choices. They perpetuate the idea that these degenerates are victims incapable of adhering to basic standards of conduct, which in itself is a deeply racist notion. That is why we must not coddle horrible behavior or coddle horrible individuals. We must criticize evil and stand against it and insist that individuals are held accountable to their actions irrespective of their racial background. As always, guys, these are my thoughts. These are my opinions. Please feel free to share yours in the comment section below, but do so respectfully. Also, if you're not yet subscribed to this channel, honestly, I don't know what you're waiting for. Subscribe to the channel. Like and share this video to keep people informed, and consider joining my membership or supporting the channel in any way that you can. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope to catch you on the next one. For now, peace.